Happy Tuesday. It's a good day. So, when I was 10 years old, about, I broke my spine. I fractured my lumbar spine. And I did this I was in gymnastics, and we were practicing our dives into a forward roll. Instead of doing the rolling bit, I just pancaked. And so my back was flat on the ground, my legs basically flopped over, and I almost kneed myself in the face. Funny story, actually, when I was practicing backflips and trying to get myself to be fearless enough to actually do the backflip rotation, I kneed myself in the face and gave myself a bloody nose. That sucked. That was embarrassing. But so when I was 10 years old, I fractured my spine, and I had no idea that this had happened. Right? So it hurt. Pancaking like that hurt, but you're young, you get up, and you just keep going, right? You're indestructible at 10 years old. And so, uh, I didn't realize what had happened, and the pain just kind of slowly intensifies over the years. And for 3 years, I struggled with this. I struggled against it. One day I was doing plyometrics and jumping left and right, back and forth, and I remember landing on my left leg, and my back just gave out, and I literally just collapsed on the floor. And it was just excruciatingly painful. I was like, whoa, that sucked. And I hadn't ever felt so useless, so weak, so incapable of just doing what I wanted and loved to do. Then, I guess I should say physically, than at that moment in my life. I can say that up until that moment, I'd used it as somewhat of an excuse to get out of physical labor activities, like going and shoveling our neighbor's driveway of snow, and different things like this. But my dad wouldn't really stand for that. I'd still end up doing it, even though it was painful for me. But at this point in time, like dragging myself up off the floor after collapsing, I decided that it was time to change. And so I found a physical therapist, starting physical therapy. I think it's important to note as well that for the first 3 years, maybe even the first 5 or so, I literally had no idea that my back was broken. We'd go in and get an x-ray. They'd x-ray me from the front. They'd be like, hey, there's nothing wrong. They couldn't see the fracture. Until finally, living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a radiologist decided, let's x-ray this kid and just kind of figure out just see what it looks like when he's on his side. And lo and behold, there's a fracture in my L2 vertebra that turned my vertebrae into my L2 into an L2 and an L2.5. Just nice 2 extra vertebrae there. And so I finally knew what the problem was. But up until this point, I had been working out consistently, stretching quite a bit. I'd actually turned my gaming sessions into, oh, the game is loading, let's go do 50 push-ups, or let's go practice handstand push-ups, or let's go do squats, something like this. So I started trying to build up my strength, and I knew that worked. I knew that helped me minimize my pain. So I ended up turning this into a superpower. And even today, I know and I recognize that, my back isn't as strong as other people's. When I don't exercise consistently, I feel it shifting on me. And the lumbar spine issue has caused multiple other issues up my back and into my neck and different things like this, but I still know that by exercising consistently, stretching, I'm able to minimize my pain. And I don't think there are very, very many people on the planet who can say that they've been working out consistently since they were 13 years old. So I've got I've got a superpower, guys. Got a superpower. So what's yours? What have you been forced to be mindful of your whole life? What have you needed to keep and maintain because of health problem, mental health problem, or just circumstance in your life? All kinds of different things. There we go. Superpowers, friends. Superpowers. Find yours. Build it. And hopefully you don't need to break your back, literally, to find it.